Hello, class, and welcome. Our team today is Katiana Mervelis, Sweetenland Parchment, and myself, Chris Boykin. On behalf of my team, we would like to thank everyone for watching our presentation and for an educational experience this semester. Our research topic is entitled Managing at a Distance. This is in direct correlation to managing globally distributed outsourced teams and offshore teams. As we all know, outsourcing and offshoring have become a popular venue for many companies. Business process outsourcing, knowledge process outsourcing, and information technology outsourcing are some examples. This semester, we have all seen fantastic nearshoring and offshoring locations. In either case, or if you are simply outsourcing a project at a remote location, managing globally distributed teams has many challenges to overcome. Why is this topic relevant to business managers? It is important to know what challenges one can face with managing at a distance in order to choose the appropriate client or vendor that is capable of becoming part of a high-performing team. This presentation will discuss three key areas to consider when managing at a distance. Not understanding these key areas can lead to overall poor performance of the team and failure in outsourcing and offshoring. The good news is tools are available to help. Now I will turn it over to Sweetenland to discuss the agenda.
Thank you, Chris. Chris has already covered the introduction, so the rest of this presentation will discuss the group's experience in outsourcing, and then we'll discuss the challenges in outsourcing as it relates to communication, cultural differences, and socialization. And finally, Katiana will finish up with a conclusion.
As a group, we collectively have over 20 years of outsourcing experience, along with some offshoring experience as well, to places like Japan, Guam, Singapore, Pakistan, Macedonia, Canada, and even in the US, from Hawaii to Florida. Now, this is not to the scale of some of the case studies we have reviewed, but the same challenges we are going to discuss today still apply. What all of these outsourcing destinations had in common is we had to manage teams from a distance because the client and vendor were not co-located. Managing from a distance has many challenges to overcome. First, I will discuss challenges with communication. Some challenges with communication are technology, communication richness, and teams in different time zones. Next, Katiana will discuss cultural differences such as language, communication styles, work habits, and lack of cultural knowledge. Lastly, Sweetland will review socialization challenges. As I mentioned before, we as a team have 20 plus years of collective outsourcing experience. 20 years ago, the internet was not as vast as it is now. Internet in homes and small businesses was almost non-existent. There were limited collaboration tools available to manage globally dispersed teams as well. Over the last 2 decades, technology has grown exponentially. Network infrastructure has improved worldwide. In fact, as we've learned, small countries like Romania and Bulgaria have a better rated network infrastructure than the United States. There has been a paradigm shift from basically stationary computing to mobile computing in the last decade. Smartphones, tablets, wireless sensor networks, and mobile ad hoc networks are a few examples. There's not many places you can go and not see someone using a mobile device. I'm even guilty of texting my wife in the living room so I don't have to leave my desk in the bedroom. Mobile computing has changed the way we communicate, and new collaboration tools have been created to satisfy our mobile communication appetite. Tools like Slack.com offer instant messaging, notifications, file sharing, organized group channels with public and private settings, a searchable database, and even interfaces with many other applications, all on a desktop or a mobile environment. High Five is another example. They have video teleconferencing. It's a teleconferencing tool able to establish a meeting with peers with the press of a button. With High Five, you get instant video teleconferencing globally on mobile devices, and with the swipe of your finger, the video can be displayed on a large screen in an office setting. Liquid Planner is a collaboration and planning tool that predicts project timelines. It will also track work progress, helps manage resources, allows integration of other tools, and even allows you to choose different project management methodologies. This is just to name a few. There are many more collaboration tools to help manage teams from a distance. So, where is this leading, you ask? Here's the communication richness scale. We all should be familiar with these mediums. As you can see, face-to-face meetings will always be a richer, more effective communication medium, while video conferencing is a close second. What you do not see on this list is collaboration tools like the ones I just mentioned. While I appreciate the value of face-to-face meetings with clients and vendors, new collaboration tools are closing the distance gap as multiple communication mediums can be accessed in one application. Take, for example, Slack.com. It's not just video conferencing, it's video conferencing on steroids with email, instant messaging, shared documents, and more. I'm not suggesting that face to face meetings are not necessary anymore. What I'm saying is new collaboration tools that offer multiple mediums improve team cohesiveness and performance at the fraction of the price to fly overseas, and they can also help overcome some of the delays associated with different time zones, making them a viable option and a very close second to face meetings. Before you choose your outsourcing client or vendor, consider communication obstacles you may face. Lastly, the vendor-client contract is certainly part of the communication process. Ensure the contract is written clearly and includes a solid communication plan. Thank you for a fantastic experience this semester. Now I will hand it over to Katiana.
Thank you so much, Chris. Culture differences have a huge impact on how we do business. Understanding the different cultures' basic customs, mannerisms, gestures, and getting through the language barriers are some of the challenges managers face when managing a global distributed team. I will discuss some of the role technology plays and touch on some of the differences between high and low context cultures. The most extreme case of high and low cultures we see today when it comes to communicating are the US and Japan. Japan high context cultures requires being passive about sharing ideas, while the US requires assertiveness and sometimes being aggressive when giving directions or when speaking. Technology has had the biggest impact when it comes to working with teams globally. Technology is very beneficial for distributed teams, however, sometimes without the face to face meetings could lead to major misunderstandings. Skype and GoToMeetings have changed the way we communicate positively, and it allows teammates to communicate in real time and establish a trusting and real relationship with shared contexts. In low context cultures, primarily seen in countries influenced by Western Europe, for example, the US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, they prefer to explain information and have written manuals. In the workplace, managers instruct with written instructions and may choose to delegate some tasks to memos. They rely on rules and procedures to make decisions rather than on personal judgment. The legal systems plays a major role in low context cultures. Contracts address every known contingencies, and deep negotiation is required for even the smallest change in a contract. If a party fails to deliver, the judicial system are brought in to enforce the contract. In high context cultures, as seen in Japan and Latin America, interpersonal skills in developing a trusting relationship is key in doing business. A great deal of background information is not needed for a negotiation to occur as parties are already familiar with each other's needs. Party relies on past working relationship and already established trusts rather than the judicial system to sort out disagreements. Managers sometimes make decisions on personal judgment based on how well an employee presents their case or their personal relationship with their boss to make a final decision. Contracts are often vague because of high context communication relies on mutual understanding and an established working relationship.
Now we'll discuss the challenges in socialization. Socialization is another mean through which globally distributed teams can improve collaboration. There are challenges involved in in globally distributed team, socializing, and even more so when it involves face-to-face meetings. The challenges include finding socializing time during business visits, funding for face-to-face meetings and social events, and developing relationship and social ties from a distance. The first challenge a global distributed team face is finding socializing time during business visits. Face-to-face meetings are generally short and mainly involve the project team discussing the project. I have little experience in outsourcing. However, when I had my internship working for a company that manages apartments and homes all over the United States, the company would organize events like bowling, cruises to foster socializing in the company. The benefit of these activities includes employees getting to know each other on a personal level other than business, an enhancement of knowledge sharing because now employees can share updates on projects that can sometimes be missed through emails or memos. Another benefit is it encourages teamwork, and the final benefit is that it builds alliances within the company. The next challenge faced through socialization is finding funding for face-to-face meetings. The cost of sending an employee overseas include airfare, hotels, food, etc. To extend more time beyond a normal face-to-face meeting would be even more challenging because the longer the stay of an employee, the higher the cost. Face-to-face meetings do have its benefits though. Such benefits can be told by Drew Martin, CEO of Mgmt. Mgmt set up operation in Taiwan, and when people would ask Martin how many times he had been to Taiwan, his response would be like none, and oh, I didn't have to go over there. Martin will communicate with the manufacturer's team in Taiwan through email, Skype, and Google Hangouts. However, all these collective tools were not enough when issues arose. Meekamp spent months attempting to fix the problem, however, to no avail. The group finally made some headway when Martin had a chance to meet the manufacturers group during a consumer electronics show in Las Vegas. During the meetup, the team went to dinner, had a couple of dinner drinks, and went to several meetings together. The group was able to solve the months-long problem in about 4 hours. Other benefits realized from face-to-face meetings is that it generates the neurochemical oxytocin. Oxytocin creates feeling of trust, respect, comfort, and safety. Another benefit is it can display a person's emotional intelligence. Another benefit is it's easier to maintain attention, like speaking to a person face to face. And the final benefit is that it aids in collaboration because you don't have to worry about distractions like technical difficulties that can be faced through collaboration tools. Now I'll turn over the presentation to Katiana.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our presentation. To end, managing a global distributed team is very challenging as managers needs to be tolerable and adapt to many different cultures. With globalization, companies are searching globally for top talent and relying on technology to help team build positive work relationship. Managers have to be progressive and able to manage traditional in-house teams and teams across borders. Socialization is very important for a team to build a working relationship as well as a personal relationship and learn how to communicate efficiently. Getting past culture differences are some of the challenges we are facing. However, taking the time to learn about different cultures and using technology to communicate is helping globally distributed teams become one team. We as a group welcome any questions.